All right, here we are with a beautiful Defender 110. This is Brad's, and I met Brad, let's say about a month and a half ago. He bought some ActionTrax recovery boards, which you'll see in a second, mounted on this beautiful rig. But I said, man, we got to do a 360 of this vehicle. I posted a quick Instagram, which got like 150,000 views and counting. So a lot of people said, like, can you show us more of this rig? So here we are. We're gonna show you more. We're in SoCal, and this rig is just so cool. But what's really awesome about this Land Rover, it's a 1995, so it's got the 300 TDI engine in there and the R380. So for those of you who know Land Rovers, that's kind of the go-to in these models, the best diesel and transmission you can get as a combo. Started like in 95 or mid 94, so he's got the right rig. But it just is so cool, and the magic is what's inside. That's what we're going to see, the utilitarian factor of this rig. So with no more further ado, let me introduce you to Brad, the owner of this truck. Brad, thanks for taking the time out and talking with us about your truck. So the video we did was your pullout. So let's start with that. That's kind of the fun part.
Yeah.
So this pullout, it goes forever, and it goes and it goes and it goes, and just when you think it's done, it can go more. So talk about like a showcase kitchen when you're out on the trail and cooking for a bunch of people. This is the rig that everybody's going to gather around. I think the only thing you need is like a big awning to cover at some point.
Exactly. Definitely in the works. Wife wants me to slow down the spending, as I'm sure you're well aware of. So that's down the road for sure.
The spending can be endless.
Exactly.
So this is, we did like a 15-second video when we first met. I'm like, hey man, just pull that out and I'll film it. And that's the Instagram that went crazy. I'll put a link in the description so you can check out that Instagram. But this is nice. The burner, sink.
And this is a kind of pop-up little piece. This is where we have the kitchen tools. We've got, all of your propane. These are Dometic water tanks. So these actually have a water line that I have that connects directly to this, and this is an electric tap, so you've got running water. It's a nice setup. These are a little under 3 gallons, so you got about 6 gallons of water.
Okay.
For me, I build this for purpose. A camper, I like to kind of go off into BLM land, and I understand I'm not living in this full time, so I'm not going super crazy with it, but like to travel on the weekends, like to take a week or two off and go out and go out and see some cool stuff around the country. So
absolutely,
this is what we take to do. So
that is cool. And this is, a lot of people have the pull out from the back of the rig. I like that this is coming out the side, because it gives you both sides. There's no like fifth wheel or like your swing out in the way that blocks half of your kitchen. Like people can be on both sides of this.
Yeah,
so cool.
It was, I always have visions for things, and I was specifically looking for, essentially a 3-door Defender.
Yeah, not 90.
And so.
Oh, a 3-door 110. Yeah,
exactly.
yeah. Okay.
And so, I know you've got the 90, the shorter wheelbase.
Yeah.
I wanted the longer wheelbase because I knew I was going to turn the back into kind of a camper. And so the nice part about this is the wheel wells for Defenders actually run kind of the full length. And so a lot of people end up actually putting storage boxes right here.
Yeah.
We kind of took a page out of the Rivian playbook that you see, those tunnels that they have with their kitchen. I connected with Sonoran Rovers, and they built the tunnel and the slide out. This holds a couple 100 pounds at minimum. You can actually take this whole piece out. I built it so you can remove it, and you can lay in it and close it back with someone in it and pull it in and out, which is great. So they did a fantastic job.
So you're saying you can put a body in this, slide it in, and drive out to the desert?
Exactly. Okay. If my wife hates me eventually, if I'm pissing her off, she can do that. But it's fun.
So you were saying this was a cargo 3-door 110. So that essentially means these windows were not here. This was solid.
This is a panel van essentially, and a lot of times They're less sought after, both in the U.S. but also in the U.K. because they're kind of considered the farm truck. They're your F-150 that you throw out in the field.
So you can get it for a better deal and then install your own gull wing windows and
Exactly.
sliding windows.
Exactly. I bought this in Boise and flew over with a checked bag of tools, and it didn't let me down, but the tough part was trying to turn anytime, because this was just a wall and there was you couldn't see for anything if you're trying to turn right. So it was very scary, and that was the first thing I did, was put in these windows.
Yeah. So windows, and then you get the side windows in the cargo,
You
right?
do get the back windows, yeah. So
Okay.
these were all there. I changed the quarter panel glass on the other side. And again, different vision as I was building it. The idea was, I bought these from Explore Glazing, which are in the Netherlands. So you can, and I forgot to, they are lockable. So
Yeah.
you can unlock them, which is great. And you can lock them up. But essentially, these are gull wing windows. So you can push it out, do all the different things. And
The best of all worlds, because a lot of the gull wings are just powder coated metal.
Exactly.
Versus you can actually see out of that.
through. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the idea is down the road, potentially put an electric fridge in here, and then you can reach in, grab your stuff, go straight to the grill, do
Yeah.
what you want to do there. And
Nice.
then these are motion windows out of Vancouver, Washington. They make custom RV windows.
Okay.
So these are actually custom made, and I had them just make the exact same dimensions. as
Custom
this
made,
one.
so you gave them the dimensions. So
them
this is
dimensions
not
of
even
this.
like a Land Rover product.
No, not a Land Rover product at all. But the idea was I wanted them to be the same size, so they kind of look like, hey, at a far glance,
Yeah.
they're the same window. The nice part about these is that they are for RVs, so you actually get a bug screen in it. So when I'm camping, again, they're kind of fit for purpose. You get the full bug screen. You can have them open. When if you've got food or you're eating inside, you're having bugs flying in and out, and you can still open that up. So we've got a dog. She sticks her head out on the trails and whatnot. And
That's cool.
she can do all that. But it's a nice little luxury to have that, and especially in California when the warm days, you get a little breeze going through.
So not a Land Rover aftermarket company, total RV company, and it looks OEM. It looks so legit.
Yeah. And
Wow.
they've got, they had different tint for windows, different powder coating. I mean, they did it all, which was awesome. And then added some of the little L-track here, just again, to add the very classic overlanding tools and things like that. I know we had mentioned a roof rack. That's down the road, but unfortunately this sits at 6 feet 11 inches and my garage door is 7 feet. So trying to utilize side and back and other areas to store a lot while I have that limitation right now.
Well, you were saying earlier you might do the whole clamshell where you cut off the roof and put a whole new aluminum cab up there.
Yeah, what's great about
those
them
are cool.
Yeah, they've
on
got
the Defenders.
the Alucab Icarus rooftop conversion. So yeah, it's essentially, these roofs are just bolted in. So you can actually take these bolts off, the whole roof comes off in 15-20 minutes, and then you can add the new roof that's clamshell pop-up tent that has gas struts on the platform too, so it will pop up the base that you sleep on, so you can stand up in the back of your car.
It'll probably have more integrity too.
Yeah, exactly.
It'll be well built.
And maybe a little more insulation, a little more everything besides just a nice aluminum 1/8-inch roof.
Let's go to the back and check out from the equipment you have inside from that access point.
So kind of same thing. Got your ActionTrax here.
Oh,
as well.
these are sexy.
So, they're great.
That's how I met Brad. He bought
it's
those.
Awesome. Got the rigid supply kind of trail straps, so this just comes off really easily. I usually have all my stuff on the outside. I just keep it in the garage until I go out camping or on the trail. But in the back here, built this last December with a buddy of mine. He's also got an Instagram, PJ's Projects, but he does a bunch of builds too. And we just kind of got together, and the idea has always been that because I don't have the sleeper, or I can't have a rooftop tent for right now, I wanted to make kind of a custom sleeper bed for my wife and I and our dog. So this is all done by us in the garage. Everything is actually made with 80/20, which I've never worked with before, but that's just aluminum, super lightweight, so these aren't just all full wood cabinets, but instead it's just kind of like an 1/8-inch oak on top that you kind of have as essentially a veneer, so you can kind of see, it looks like it's a full wood, but you lose all the weight.
You could wrap it too if you wanted to have it look like it's metal or whatever, or just leave it natural, which I think looks amazing.
Yeah.
Then these tracks, is this so that you can make this the flat bed?
Yeah, so the idea here is that, so again, all of these are custom made. It's just wood with some 3-inch foam on it, and then these actually sit right on the track, so you can kind of slide them in and out. You can make, you know, a love seat in the back, or if you put all 5 down, it's essentially kind of a twin size bed, and then our dog sleeps around the corner. So again, nice little setup for camping.
Nice. That's cool. Yeah, and then one day if you chop that up and that opens up, imagine the living space.
Well, and I'll say as well, I'll hop in here. When you take out all the cushions, these are actually storage bins underneath as well. So you can actually see underneath, you know, again, this is as far out as the piece goes. We got some, you know, extra stuff. We got our table, tow rope. This is kind of a military box that we have. It has our jack stand for if I need to change out a tire in the back, but underneath this as well is more of them. So again, trying to utilize the storage that we have for everything and making the most.
But this is like this because your wheel well's there.
Exactly.
But don't you have a little space here?
You do have a little space.
But not enough to justify.
Yeah, and what's nice, again, using the 80-20 is that I can cut this, I can change this up pretty easily. So if I want to add or take away or make changes, it's pretty easy to do so. Nice. We added insulation under all of this to help both with the noise, you know, road noise, but also, yeah, you know, so basically kind of built this again just to what I felt, you know, would be useful while I'm out camping. And, you know, not a professional by any means. We didn't dye the back of this or anything, but, you know, routed this out. My buddy is
the DIYs are the best.
Yeah.
Like, because you make it to your specs.
It's fun.
You know?
And I love the oak kind of view and how it got, you know, stained. And this is all one piece. We tried our best to make it so the grain would all follow, and got a little cutesy with it, which is fine. This is my wife's and then my kind of takeaway bags. Again, the idea being we can just hop in this whenever and go for a weekend trip. So that has our clothes.
And you still have space on the other side of this.
Exactly. So then, you know, down here by the knees, we've got just some crash pods. These are from Australia, but essentially, again, it's kind of soft storage. Things aren't rattling around. This has our dog toys, some campfire stuff. This has our, you know, toiletries packed out again, so we don't have to even think about packing anything. These just get pushed in, lock and close. And then the bottom, again, another one. This has all of our dry food, you know, some of the other stuff like, you know. For
and you did the height of all your drawers to fit these specific.
Yeah, so, you know, again,
purpose built.
Tried to think through it before I built it, and you know, spent the money doing it. And then down here as well, this pulls away, and you can have access to the whole list. This has some of our just, you know, REI or whatever seats, and we've got our dog bed down there that packs away her sleeping bag whenever we get into some of the colder climates, because we do a lot of Arizona, Utah camping, and it can get pretty cold out in the desert as well in the wintertime. So
nice.
Yeah, it's fine. And then the idea, I think, to your point on the back end was, you know, I had seen some of these as well. So again, we've got the same gull wing window. This one is actually all aluminum because I didn't want people to be able to see into the cabinet. But on the back side, we've got a molly panel, and then just some of my recovery gear. So you know, it's a right-hand drive UK vehicle. So if I'm on a trail and I get stuck, I can step out and immediately access what I need to. So kinetic rope. I've got a small little air just for when we air down, but hoping to put onboard air down the road. I love, you know, the 4-wheel. I'd love to run them, you know, into my
that Thor's lightning.
Yeah, exactly. It's really cool. So yeah, got that stuff. Makes it easy. You know, we added again an aluminum panel on the quarter wing window as well. So this also actually flips up. Idea is potentially you could put onboard air in the back there, and you could attach at that point. Or, you know, you could have it for other areas too. But, again, something where they can't see into the cabinet, but you can also access into it again while you're on the trail or from outside.
So this is your quick access corner, because driver's side is right-hand side.
Exactly.
Cool. I love how you put the ActionTrax boards. Usually they're upright, but this is functional.
Yeah, well, and the idea here too is I've got a always on rear view mirror. So it's a rear view mirror that has a constant feed to a backup camera. And so again, just want to be able to visibly see it because this is a big tank driving down the road. So if a lot of times people mount them vertically on their tire, that would get in the way. Again, don't have a roof rack, so I can't put it up there yet. But yeah, it's a nice little in-between for now.
Anybody interested in the ActionTrax, I'll put a link below. I put yellow zinc, so I'm a distributor of ActionTrax. One thing I do that's extra is the yellow zinc. That makes it look sexy, but that's also grade 8, super heavy duty. So you don't burn through those nibs. That's metal, and it's replaceable metal. All right, So to the cabin,
Sure.
the driver's cabin. Let's get a. So now we have a perspective in the shade. That color is like what, a Nardo gray?
Yeah, it's kind of Nardo gray close to. It was painted this way when I bought it, and I ended up kind of falling in love with it this way.
Do you want to jump in the driver's side,
Sure,
and maybe you can give us some walk around here? So obviously no cage needed. Your dog would just stick his head here between passenger and driver and join the trip.
We usually make it into a little love seat, so she just lies down, and it's better than most of the cars that she is usually used to being in, so it makes it for an easy trip.
Nice. And you do have a nice headliner in here. It's clean.
Yeah.
But you might do away with that when you put the alley
And
cab.
I have some LED strips that run along the edges here, so I have it's all just powered off of a big battery bank, and
So
I
for
can
the-
plug in and light this up at night, which is nice.
Where are you keeping your battery?
Yeah, it's in the storage as well. So,
Okay. Tuck away.
I don't have a dual battery system set up yet. Goal would be down the road when we add more electronics, lights, all that other fun stuff.
Yeah.
That's when it starts sucking from your battery. You don't want to get stranded. So.
But you have on the hood, which we can see in a second,
Yeah.
you do have a solar panel there, which is
Yeah.
cool.
Up front, not a whole lot changed. I'll say the few things that I have added. One is just the AC unit on the bottom here. You don't usually have AC in some of the older Land Rovers, and in Southern California, they're definitely needed. The joke is that these are your knee coolers because they're so low. So I did add a little fan.
And that fan keeps the passenger, aka the wife, cool.
Exactly.
Happy wife, happy trailing,
Yeah, happy trailing.
overlanding.
Yeah. And we did have to modify this as well just to fit with this, so I'm not hitting into it when I go into top gear.
Yeah.
But it actually made it a little bit tighter, which was nice as well. So kind of shifting is a little bit easier. We also added just Apple CarPlay on this. Again, a little bit of nice luxuries, which is nice when you're driving. And then here's the always-on backup camera. It's your rear view mirror, so that's a constant feed from the backup camera.
And I love all the patches.
Yeah, this was all from my Tacoma, and then we try and add patches as we go to different national parks and some of the other stuff too in the state parks. So again, have fun here.
A good center deck for the drinks.
Center deck, and then I think you've probably seen this as well before, but underneath all of the Defenders, you've got storage boxes actually under both seats, and so on this side as well, you've got, this is again the Renogy kind of charger, so I've got that hooked up to the solar panel that's on the hood.
Okay.
The idea then it feeds over and the battery's on the other side.
Yeah, battery.
We'll add the two batteries
here
onto that one, down the road, but it's a nice little setup and kind of makes all the wires a little clean, so you're not necessarily seeing it while you're driving down the road.
Cool. Let's look at that panel on the front. Now that the sun is giving us a little bit of shade up here. Cool.
Yeah, so this is a Cascadia 4x4 solar panel. They make them specific to the vehicles, so they have ones for Tacomas, they've got them for Land Cruisers. I know you've got a big following there if they want to look at that. And so it's not...
Land Cruiser in the background.
Yeah, it's not putting out a lot of juice. It's 75 watts, so it's good. I mean, again, it will charge up, top off the batteries, and again, not being able to add much to the roof right now, it helps.
And at first you look at this, a lot of people put the diamond plate, just like on the Land Rover Defenders have these all the time. They put it here, but it looks like it's meant to be. So that's like you say, purpose built. It kind of tapers in the front, just like the bonnet does. So that looks cool. Snorkel, so you can do some deep water crossings.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think the doors are sealed up enough for me to do anything beyond those.
The water would flow in any Defender,
but the
trust
engine
me.
would run, so
exactly.
That's how it goes. But I don't like to baby them. I like to have fun with them.
Yeah. Well, look at that. It's just amazing. What a setup. We'll have to meet up again when you do the Alu cab, and then I have a 90 Defender, gray and black, almost like this 90, but getting a fuel pump right now and some repairs. So we'll maybe get them both at a cool trail spot and update you guys when Brad puts the cool Alu cab on.
I love that.
And there's Black Mamba in the background, also diesel. I tell you, if you guys can get your hands on a diesel, well, Land Rover, of course, coming from overseas, from the UK, or a Land Cruiser, you're gonna love it. Diesel is so much fun. But Brad, thank you for taking the time and sharing this build with us, which is still building, right? As we all know, it's an ongoing project, but just always towards improvement. You go camp, you're like, I need this, I need that. And I think that clamshell on this would be just phenomenal.
Definitely. No, thank you for having me. No, it's always fun to kind of share the builds and see what others are doing too.
Yep, very cool. All right, one last walk around, and then we'll let Brad be on his way. But look at that. The colors are just perfect. All right, happy trails, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.